Something I think that's missing from a lot of modern consoles is a bunch of tacky add-ons that can alter the gaming experience just a little bit to be fun. I'm not talking about DLC, because DLC can be cool, but I'm talking about real stuff. I'm talking about real controllers and expansions to systems and all sorts of dumb stuff like that. I figured I'd show off a few of my favorites that I happen to own and have with me in my apartment. First up, let's talk about the Konami Justifier. This thing's a nice little light gun for the Sega Genesis. It has a cool start button that in Snatcher actually acts as a safety, which is really funny. It's really the only light gun I've ever used except for being in an actual arcade. I think it does a really good job of making it feel like you're actually shooting as a cowboy with a revolver. You'll hear that line a lot in this game. I think they only recorded like 3 or 4 lines for the entire game, so every cowboy says the exact same thing. It's pretty remarkable. Unfortunately, I don't particularly care for the bosses. I think they have far too much health, and the fight just goes on for so long your hand starts to cramp out. It's unfortunate that the only game I have for the Justifier is Lethal Enforcers 2. It works with Snatcher as well, but I haven't really played it that much, and the copy I have is just a reproduction, so I haven't actually found time to play it yet.
Balloon Showdown.
Alright, up next is this beauteous piece of plastic. This is the YKO Trackball for the TI-99/4A home computer. Not only is it an amazing trackball, but it also features possibly the worst plug design that I think I've ever seen in my entire life. The good news is if you can find somewhere to actually plug this monster in, you can play a damn good version of Centipede. Now I could devote an entire episode just to setting up how I play Centipede, because it's kind of a mess, but maybe I'll do that at some other point. Basically, it just involves a hell of a lot of peripherals attached to the computer. It's quite the sight, really. Now, playing Centipede with a trackball is probably one of the greatest gaming experiences one can ever have. Playing it on an actual arcade system, I assume, is way superior to this, but having any kind of trackball is actually just one of the most amazing things ever. The amount of precision that you get is phenomenal. Playing it with a joystick or, God forbid, a keyboard is probably one of the worst things you can do if you have played it with a trackball before. If you haven't played it with a trackball, it's really not that bad, but after having played it with a trackball, you do not want to go back to anything but that. Now, ideally, I would show you the driving or paddle controllers for the Atari 2600, but I don't have one of those anymore, so I've got the next best thing. So this plug and play actually has a twist function on it, and the only purpose it serves is to act like a driving controller when you're playing pole position. Now, I mentioned that playing Centipede with a trackball was probably one of the most amazing experiences ever. Well, I think playing pole position with a real driving controller is probably even above that. The amount of depth that just being able to turn something gives to this game is obscene. Like, playing this on the PlayStation 2 with an analog controller is so bad compared to being able to spin a little dial. Having complete control over your movement is so helpful, especially in situations where you're ducking in and between cars. It's almost immeasurable. Like, I mean it. Go out and find a way to play pole position with a turning dial. It'll change your life, I swear to God. Well, thanks for tuning in, and I'm hoping to make more of these soon. Have a nice one.